Number 17, the Guatemalan Syphilis experiment. Through the late 90s and the early 2000s, there were rumors or conspiracy theories of deliberate infection of Guatemalans. But these were just whispers. Once again, it was, some people claim fear-mongering, some people claim paranoia, especially within Guatemala, in Central America. But then finally, in 2005, hard evidence of what one senior US health official described as a dark chapter in the history of medicine was produced. So again, this is yet another example of conspiracy theory becoming conspiracy fact. And the world learned about this syphilis experiment, as I said, like in 2005, and the American public learned that health doctors deliberately infected hundreds of Guatemalans with syphilis and other venereal diseases. And the reason for that, the reason given was to test the effectiveness of penicillin on these infections. International human rights advocates claim that 5,000 Guatemalans were experimented on, and in the course of the experiments, over 1,000 were infected with venereal diseases. One experiment entailed syphilis-infected prostitutes sleeping with prisoners in Guatemalan prisons. And the experiments, funded by America's National Institutes of Health, were facilitated by Guatemalan health officials without the informed consent of subjects. And they say at least 80 deaths were, or moderate estimates of how many were killed from this underhand research and unethical research. Moderate estimates say 80 people died as a result of this, but other human rights groups actually say it's a lot higher. Now, where it gets interesting is that in October 2010, the US government officially apologized for the actions of American citizens involved in this whole ugly business. And in a joint statement, Secretary of State at the time, Hillary Rodham Clinton, and Health and Human Services Secretary Kathleen Sebelius said, although these events occurred more than 64 years ago, we are outraged that such reprehensible research could have occurred under the guise of public health. We deeply regret that it happened, and we apologize to all individuals who are infected by such abhorrent research practices. So there you have it, Hillary Clinton herself admitting to this and apologizing on behalf of the US government. And according to my research into this experiment, there's been no successful prosecutions against any, there were no successful prosecutions against any of the American health officials or medical staffers involved in this travesty. And I guess you could argue that it was proven to be a real conspiracy too late, and possibly or probably many of them were dead by the time this came around. And yeah, it's good that the US admitted to this, but it does, for the purpose of this podcast, it proves once again that we've got a real conspiracy fact there.